Welcome to the call, everybody. This is going to be a little bit different than what we normally do because we were expecting Jordan Lowry, but he's a little bit tied up right now. So we got Willis Hicks on the line. This is going to be awesome. We got a couple other agents on here that are going to ask him some questions besides myself. So I'm going to basically co-host with a couple other agents. I'm going to ask you one or two questions, and then I'm going to pass it over to Zach, and then Trevor Dunbar, Billy Tompkins, and we got Reese Pesek as well. All right.
Good deal. Yeah.
Cool, man. So, and then maybe Jordan will hop on too. All right, bro. So first thing is you sold 30K your first month. That's pretty awesome, bro. How'd you do that?
I appreciate it. I just bought leads, dude. Just bought leads and dialed my butt off and ran, so that was it.
That was it. What kind of leads did you buy?
My first month, man, I bought like everything. I'm serious. Like there was a list of probably 10 different vendors I was buying. Instant, 3 months, the new internet life leads, I was buying Bang Bang. I bought Secure Agent. I bought Game Time, Lead Rilla. Like I bought them all.
That's great.
I spent a ton of money on leads the first month. I really did, just because I wanted to see which ones would work, the best for me. I got the biggest bang from a buck, really. Mm-hmm. So
that's awesome, dude. So you tried everything, Game Time, Bang Bang, everything. Like, and what do you say worked best for you?
Probably my biggest return was on the instant. At the time, they were easy to get, but like now, everybody's buying them, man. They're harder to get.
Absolutely, dude. The area do you run?
I'm in Fort Wayne and Indianapolis, Indiana. Those are the two primary areas that I run.
That's awesome, dude. So you're in Indiana.
Yep, Indiana.
Perfect. Well, I know we have a lot of agents on this call that want to ask you a couple questions. So I'm going to have Zach ask you a couple of questions that he has, and then I'll pass it over to Trevor, Billy, and then Reese as well.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, dude, congrats, Willis. Absolutely crushing it, and it's exciting. So definitely want to squeeze any nuggets or knowledge or tips and tricks we can out of you to help the rest of the team here. What was the biggest challenge you had starting out, and how did you overcome that?
Probably, my biggest challenge really was, like I watched all the training, but really dialing in my in-home, which that was just reps, that was probably the hardest part, most uncomfortable part, going in someone's home and sitting with them. And like I said, it's one thing to watch the training, but it's another thing to do it. So that was probably the biggest challenge for me, I would think, just getting comfortable, being uncomfortable. Yeah.
So like in the home, to get more specific, what were some things that were really uncomfortable or challenging? Was it like overcoming specific objections, or was it something just relating to them, or what was it in the home that was tough?
It was actually probably just getting my presentation down and sticking to the same one over and over and over, because I would go in and I'd lose control right away, because I'd go in the home and the clients are like, sit here, sit there, and it's just like, so just gaining control right away was probably, really, really tough. And then just knowing that it's just different people, but it's the same presentation over and over, really. Right. They all have different needs and wants, but still, it's the same presentation, really, for me.
Gotcha. So to gain control, it's more like, hey, let's sit here, shoes on, shoes off, just asking more questions than having them asking questions like that. That's how you gain more control, or?
Yeah, just taking control from the beginning, hey, shoes on or off, and then just walking toward the table. I used to they would just be like, sit here, and I'd be like, all right, we're sitting here. But now it's just like, I'm searching the table, and I'm heading to the table. Like they have to almost follow me to the table, and if they do try to do that to me anymore, they're like, hey, let's just sit here. It's just like, what, I just got to take a couple quick notes so the table would work a lot better. And I just keep walking toward the table. I don't even stop to let them be like, no, we'll sit here,
Right. So, okay. So taking charge right away. Okay.
Yeah. Taking control.
Perfect. Okay. So the in-home. And then, so a few different agents do this differently. And from who I've talked to, and I was curious on how you do this. when it comes to scheduling, some agents do it hour by hour, some do it in windows, some so they can fit more appointments in. I'm curious on how you set up your schedule, like the times. Is it like 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or is it just by windows, or how do you do that to knock out so many appointments?
So I do every hour on the hour, and I do run behind. Almost every day I'm running behind. And most of the time, it's not very often that anybody's upset about it, but they do comment, a lot. They'll be like, hey, I thought this was an hour ago, and I'm just, hey, really sorry, I'm running behind today. But hey, I'm here to help you out and take care of you now. But, I've had a couple people, like I get 2 hours behind sometimes. And I've had a couple people be pretty upset about it. And obviously it didn't go very well for me in the beginning. You're leaving the house pretty quick because they're upset. But I mean, it's only been a couple times. Most people are understanding. They know, because I always tell them on the phone, hey, look, I got about a dozen families I'm helping tomorrow. So,
let them know on the phone.
Yeah, just let them know. And they're pretty cool with it. So, but I do book every hour on the hour, and I always try to book 9 to 10 appointments a day, just because, I get told no a lot. So I really bought into the massive activity and having tons of appointments to overcome, my sales skill, I guess.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah. And then one last thing for the in-home, what do you do to tie it down so you can prevent chargebacks and really, connect with the client and make sure that they'll stay with you and they like you and they want to continue the policy? Do you do anything specifically for the tie down or to really solidify the appointment?
So, I got quite a few chargebacks there in the beginning, it sucked. And that's something I constantly still work on. I'm getting better, but at the end now, I'm just like, hey, Zach, if you are approved for the coverage, is there any reason you wouldn't want this for, your wife or your son or your daughter? Is there any reason why you wouldn't want this? And then if they're like, well, I don't know, which they honestly, now when I say that, they're like, no, and if they do, I just got to make sure it fits in the budget. I'm like, well, hey, like something's better than nothing. So instead of going 15,000, let's go ahead and do 10, right? And get the coverage in place and, make sure it fits your budget, and then we can revisit later. So that's for me, that's a work in progress. I'm always trying to get better. I'm always listening to trainings and trying to come up with a better presentation, because mine's not the best. It works, but I'm constantly trying to get better. There's a lot of guys out there and girls that are just amazing. So.
Right. Well, cool. Yeah. Appreciate that. Well, so those are all the questions I had. I know some other guys on here had a few questions for you as well, but that's good stuff.
Cool. Thanks,
perfect,
man.
Bro. I know we can do Trevor, but Reese, do you want to squeeze in real quick? Cause I know you're short on time.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Actually one of the questions I had too was, it's not letting me. It says it's disabled.
Okay, no worries. Let me see. Make you co-host. Now it should work.
All right. Okay. So back what I was going to ask though is kind of, and what you find out, I guess, Willis, you could probably attest to this, is when you've been doing this for a little bit, you can write too much in the home too. You were talking about the chargebacks in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's something that's important as well, is, finding out, okay, like you said, your question at the end, is there any reason this won't work? Because I've had a couple people too, where I say that and they're like, well, it is kind of expensive. Well, then let's go down to something that you can keep in place, because the only life insurance that works and that is important is the one that's in place when something actually happens, right?
Yeah.
So I'm super glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, I heard that on a training here probably maybe 6 weeks ago, and I'm not sure where I heard it, but I was like, man, it's so true though. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter for these folks if they can't afford it and they're not paying for it and they don't have the coverage when the time comes, it doesn't matter. So it is truly the only one that matters, the one you can keep on the policy you can keep in place. So, and I've done that. I've actually, I felt that I've oversold before, and backed it down. And that's probably why I had some chargebacks, so yeah, like I said, it's always a work in progress.
Well, and then, Alex kind of mentioned at the beginning, the volume you've been able to do. And, what a lot of people talk about when it comes to entrepreneurship, doing life insurance is activity and efficiency, right? Because you work for yourself, you're not paid for the hour. So as much as you can squeeze into an hour, the more money you're going to make, right? I feel like, I think I met you at the conference in Phoenix. I don't know if you quite remember, but, you were walking around talking to everybody. And I felt like, watching you every minute you had there, you were talking to somebody, you were doing some sort of networking. Is that something that's kind of just instilled in you that you do naturally, or?
I'm just looking for answers, man. I'm just trying to get better. And like, you can learn something from everybody, you know what I'm saying? And so that's what I was doing. I was trying to gain as much as I could from everybody to help me be better at serving other people, and taking care of my family. So yeah, whenever I have an opportunity, man, like I definitely try and take advantage of that.
And then, so you said you're running how many appointments a week right now?
So like I said, I try to get 9 to 10 a day in. Sometimes I get so far behind that I can't get to the last 1 or 2 because it's just too late. And so I'll just try to call and reschedule it. If I'm hitting 9 a day, that's at least like 36 to probably 40 right now is kind of where I'm trying to hit.
So again, just kind of that activity for you is kind of been the key for everything.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of days that, there's some days I'll go out with 9, 10 appointments and get smoked the whole day, have a couple sits and no sales and nothing. And then there's other days I go out and it's that last one, that 9th or 10th one where I get a sell, which helps, for the leads and, paying for the leads and making it out in the field another day, so.
Well, and I can kind of attest to this because, I've kind of been in this spot where I feel like a lot of new agents, kind of get into that flow. They'll be going, and then maybe they have a small amount of appointments in a day and they have a real bad day because they didn't have the appointments. And then all of a sudden it kind of throws their whole week off, and you're not doing the volume you want to because you're not seeing the people, and it kind of puts you in a funk, right? What have you done to kind of avoid getting in that? Or has it just been flatline? You're just doing it no matter what?
Just dialing and setting more and more appointments, because I've had those days where, I wasn't as prepared or didn't get the appointments that I want. And I'll go out with 5 or 6. And it's just like, I just didn't put the activity in. And then, it was just a bad day. So yeah, I just constantly keep working on protecting the dial time, making sure I have the appointments. So I can be successful,
That's awesome.
And then are you working on building an agency?
Yeah, I just started that. So I'm just getting started with that, and it's exciting. So yeah, for sure.
All right.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Reese, you got your questions answered. We'll get Trevor on next.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, cool. And if you need to hop off at any time, just let me know. You can just hop off. But pleasure to have you guys so far. And then Trevor, you're next. What's going on, bro?
What's up, brother? Willis, you're out there crushing it, dude.
Yeah, hey, I'm trying.
Hey, so is this your first time in insurance altogether, or did you come over here from another agency, or is this a brand new career for you?
Yeah, brand new. I started Thanksgiving. I had no prior experience. I knew nothing about it. And so I just dived in and started watching all the trainings. And, when I stumbled into it, actually, it was crazy. I started seeing all the posts and being in the groups. And I was like, there's just no way. There's no way, that this could be legit and be real. And then I went to a sales conference up in Chicago, and man, after that sales conference, I'm like, there's no way they put a show on just for me. There's 300 people in this room. There's no way they did this just for me. Like, this is like legit. So I just dove in, man, and went for it, and made a lot of mistakes along the way, but I keep learning from guys like you, man. You're out there crushing it, and you're an inspiration, and so yeah, man, it's brand new.
I mean, congratulations just for keeping it going. You mentioned one thing about belief. And I know for me, I think I'm also in the beginning stages of building an agency. And what I have found, people will come into this business and you think they're going to do a lot. and then they just don't do anything. And what I have found is that it really comes down to that belief. So do you think it's belief in yourself? You think it's belief in the leads, in the process, in the clients, in the need? Can you dive into your mindset every day of maybe where it was in the beginning before you went to that conference, and then when you started getting deposits, and now you're a top producer consistently that everybody's looking at? Can you just walk me through the mindset that allows you to show up and win every day?
Yeah. So that's a great question, man. I know that people out here need help. You know what I'm saying? Me personally with my story, back, when I was younger, I lost my wife to cancer, and I had 2 little boys, and the insurance man was in my house about a month before they diagnosed her with cancer. And I did the whole, I want to think about it, just trying to get rid of the guy, and I didn't get the insurance, and they diagnosed her about a month later, and then she passed away about 100 days after that. So, I know that people out there need help. And I just look back on that moment, and I just wish that insurance guy was just like, would have just like, hey, look, man, like, pushed me a little harder, to make me realize, like, that I really did need that for my family. So I know that, I believe, I know how important it is for people to get this coverage and how it affects families. So my belief, my conviction, once I found this industry and realized, like you said, the hidden universe, it's so true, man. This is so mind blowing to me. I'm just so honored and grateful to be here. But, once I found out about it and seen how we can help and serve people, like, I've never really looked back, because I know how much people need this. And I know that, like, this is like, for me, it's my mission. Now I'm on a mission to help as many people as I can, protect them and their families. So that's where my mindset is, man. Like, I won't stop. I never had a problem buying leads from day one, because I know that is the lifeline. That is the people that's raising their hands saying, I need help. And if I don't have the people saying I need help, then I don't have a business, you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm all in, man. I just go nonstop. So, yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, so you've got a pretty deep, sorry to hear about your wife.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So you've got a deep connection with the need for what we offer.
Mm-hmm.
So your belief is completely rooted in that on a daily basis. Cause sometimes it can look, when we're throwing up big numbers, it can look like we're just out there making it look easy, right? Like, I look at you every day and I'm like, dude, what is this guy doing? Like, what does he eat for breakfast?
Yeah.
And, but truthfully, there's just as much rejection, if not more, every day. Would you agree?
Absolutely. 100%, for sure.
How do you deal with that rejection when you show up? How have you prevented yourself from getting emotional about the business? Whether it's the no-show, whether it's the person, the family you really know needs the coverage, but you just know they're not going to do it. The belief isn't strong enough for them. How have you navigated those waters to keep the emotion out of the business?
Yeah, well, I am. I'm just like everybody else. It's getting rejected and told no and stuff. It hurts. You know what I'm saying? And I have those days where I'm down because of it. But I just don't give up. I don't give up, because, like, I have an opportunity now to take care of my family in a way that I never dreamed possible. Like, this is literally a fairy tale dream come true. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that need help, and I know that there's a lot that, that they need it, but they just don't believe they need it right now or think they need it. I sat with a couple yesterday and they're like, yeah, but that would never happen to us. And I'm like, really? Okay. That's whatever, I mean, it's just crazy. But to me, so I just keep going, man, because I know there's a lot of people out there that need it. And, it's my job, it's my duty, to go out there and serve people. Like, I'm here, and I have this crazy story, honestly. And it's, I believe, like, I'm meant to be here. I was this is my path, and like, I'm never going to stop. Like, I'm helping as many people as I can, and I do love the money and the freedom it buys me and my family. But like, even if it wasn't for that, now that I found this, like, I would still do it. Like, I just love helping people, man. This is the best business ever. It really is, so.
Do you tell your story in the house every day with clients?
No, I don't. I don't. Sometimes I do, but the majority of the time I don't. So yeah, I'm still working on my presentation. I make little changes here and there, because just like, I want to help everybody I sit with, and and I do get told no a lot, right? Like, I'll go out with 9 or 10 appointments, and if I get 3 or 4 in a day, that's a huge day for me. 3 or 4 yeses, usually it's 1, 2, so, and it just gets me a little bit that, like, those people said no and I wasn't able to help them. So I'm always like looking at my presentations. It's like, man, what can I do better? And I'm always listening to the trainings and listening to this person, that person, trying to make it better so I can help more people. So
I've got 2 more questions, and these are geared really toward the new person who's coming in. They're either in pre-licensing, they're waiting for contracting, they're hoping this is real. They're watching videos like this. They're trying to figure out if we're telling the truth, if this is just right. Because it's easy if there's a lot of deception in marketing and whatnot. The first question is, how, if you were starting over again, knowing what you know, what is the number one thing that you would do as soon as you were licensed, just to make sure that you came out of the gate strong from day one? What's the most, I know it's not just one thing, but if you could choose one thing, what would that one thing be that you think is critical to the success of somebody in the first 30 days in this business?
Staying plugged in. That was my biggest thing, really, honestly, from day one. And I did all the training. I went through it a couple times, but diving more into everything, all the free training that the company offers and the YouTube videos, that would have been it right there. Staying plugged in, because when you stay plugged in, you just get so much motivation, inspiration, and encouragement from it. And that it works. All the knowledge that they're sharing, like, it just helps you be more prepared. So number one would be staying plugged in. For me, that would be my thing.
Yeah, I agree. That's because you end up absorbing. If you're plugged in, you absorb exactly what you need when you need it. If you're right, because it isn't just one thing that makes this business work. It's everything, but you've got to be around people that are constantly talking about what they're doing, because you're going to pull those pieces out. Second thing, and I think this is critical, because I don't know about you, I'm assuming, but I'd like to know for sure. There are a lot of days that I look at the issue paid numbers and I'm like, how did I get there?
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, most days I feel like I'm losing. Can you tell me what you feel like when you're out in the field and you've got a day and you've run the 8 appointments and you either didn't close any of them, or you end up door knocking one and you got a $300 and you're thinking, have I forgotten to sell? Like, what's going on? Can you walk me through your mindset on a daily basis, like the reality of how you feel? Because I think that'll help people to understand that their feelings are not abnormal. No matter what results we're getting, we're all feeling the same in the field. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There's days I feel like I failed and I'm like, do I even know like what I'm doing? Have I just been lucky? What is this about? And I feel that. I go through those emotions. And then what I do is I jump on another training, because I've got my favorites, and then there's so much out there. I'll just search one up or see the newest one and pop it in and start listening to it. And it helps me get out of that funk. And then it's just like, I go home, I eat, I get in bed, and I get up the next day as early as I can and get after it again, and just don't quit, right? You're going to be successful in this business, I believe, if you love helping people and you want to help your family. if you just don't quit, don't freaking quit. And when times are tough and hard, reach out to the guy, your upline. And what I love about this is like, I've never seen or experienced the positivity and the culture like this company has. Like, I don't think I ever seen anybody having bad days. Like when you're around them, the energy, like everybody's so helpful. And like, I'm starting to reach out to other top producers, you know, and picking their brains so I can get better. And say, it doesn't matter what team they're on. Like they're also just willing to help you, because there's so many people out here that need help, you know, and people say that to me about like, you know, you got this person, that person in your area. And it's like, that's freaking awesome. You know, it's like, Sean, Mike, those guys say like there's 1 million insurance agencies out there, and there's like 7,000 of us. There's plenty of room. There's plenty of people to help serve. So yeah, just plugging in, man, and just reaching out and plugging in. That's it, man. If you do that, you're going to be successful. Just don't quit. Don't quit.
Good stuff, brother. Well, dude, keep doing what you're doing, man. You're an inspiration to all of us, and I know that. You know, I think someone like you is a big belief builder. You're super humble. This is the first time we've had the chance to talk live. We've texted back and forth a few times, but I think that your humility is a big superpower that you've got, and your conviction. So just keep doing what you're doing, and keep inspiring people, man, because it's definitely, we're in a disruptive company. This radically shifting the industry. And it's guys like you leading from the front, just with humility and good work ethic and just tenacity, that's just making it all come together. So thanks for hopping on here today, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I appreciate everything you do, man. Like I learn a lot from you. I do. Like I get little clippets of you here and there. And I know we've talked a couple of times, and I definitely want to pick your brain some more, but like, dude, you're inspiring, man. You're really starting to take off, and dude, it's awesome that you're helping so many people, and it's inspiring. So thank you, you know, so keep doing what you're doing, buddy. Glad to be in business with you for sure. 100%.
Yeah, dude. Let's go take over.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Perfect, dude. I love that. I'm going to have Billy Tompkins take over. He's going to finish up the call, ask you some questions. He just got his logo. But it's been an awesome call so far, guys. Zach, Reese, Trevor, and Billy. It's going to be a sick recording. So go ahead and ask him some questions, Billy.
All right, Willis. So first off, man, congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
So, you know, I'm kind of one of those guys. I've got like a little military background, so I kind of look at what makes a person be like they are. So I'm going to go off of the cusp a little bit, and I'm not going to ask you about the insurance industry. What I want to know about is the 3 attributes that you have within your personality that fit well into this business, and where they came from. So that's the first question I have for you, because I'm a firm believer in, because I do a lot of interviews, and I have certain questions that I ask people that in my mind, I can tell if this person has the potential to be the next Willis Hicks. And I want to see what attributes you have within your personality. And just listening to you talk to Trevor, I've already know some of them, but I want to see what you tell me so I can start looking for Willis Hicks.
Yeah. So I think the big thing for me that I really deeply believe is like I'm so open-minded. Like I know I don't have all the answers, man, you know, and so I'm so willing to listen to anybody's advice on how to be better and how to help more people. So yeah, I'm just really open-minded, I believe, for sure. And you know, the second is I just have a big heart for helping people. I truly love. I mean, that's why we're here. I believe we're here to help other people, right? And you know, and I just have a lot of energy, a lot of drive. You know, I'm so passionate about it, and this whole company. I've never seen so much energy and passion in this company, and just matches with me so well, or I match with it. Like it's what I've been searching for my whole life. You know, I have a desire to be the best me that I can be. You know, I want to get better every day, a better person. And so yeah, like I'm open-minded. I have a big heart and a lot of energy, and I just throw that into this, you know. So
Awesome. Okay. So then are you in the process of growing an agency? Because I already know that you've got the I can sell insurance part. And what I mean by that is, even though you said 13 times on here that you're not very good at
yeah,
selling insurance, the reality of it is, in time, you're going to be even better. That's what I tell a lot of people. You get better at repetitions. You
Yeah.
know, when I remember coming into this business at 44 years old, and I remember looking at it and I was thinking, I got to walk in the house and do what?
yeah,
Because it wasn't my wheelhouse. And I remember, you know, the beginning stages of this career and how skittish I was. But like you said, over time, and that's what's going to be super exciting to watch your development when you're 6 years in this business. It's not even going to be, you won't even have to run appointments at that point.
yeah,
But, you know, one of the things that I want to know is, if you are in the process of trying to build an agency, what kind of questions do you ask your potential candidates? And then what gets you excited? You hang up with that candidate. What's something that they might have said that said, ooh, I want to work with this person? Because like Trevor had mentioned, everybody says they're going to do a whole lot, right? But every once in a while, you get off the phone with an individual, and it's the same thing with an appointment. You might talk to somebody over the phone and be, ooh, this is going to be a good one. But what's something you like to hear when talking to a potential candidate that gets you excited?
you know, and for me, it's, you know, when I talk to potential, and I've just started, is, and I'm trying to learn on how to hire and build like, I have no, you know, I have no experience in this whatsoever, but like, so I'm reaching out to people that are really good at it and trying to just get little nuggets here and there. But like, what, you know, what I ask them is, I'm just like, hey, look, you know, if you're willing to get up every week and go punch in a time clock for somebody and work 40, 50 hours, and they tell you what to do, when to do it, and you're working for them and their family and making them rich, you know, why don't you just put, you know, 2 weeks into yourself and your family and change your life, you know? And so, I mean, that's really what I say to them. And then they just get really pumped up, because that's what everybody wants. I always ask them, like, you know, what are you happy about now with your current job? And then what are you looking for? And everybody's looking for financial freedom, you know? So for me, like, I'm just so new into it. I don't know if they're going to go and do it or not yet. So I'm still working on that. But, you know, just to hear people, you know, when they say that's what they want for their family, you know, they want the freedom, the opportunity of time and money to be able to help people. So that would be, you know.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. And then the last piece is, I know just based on your results that you have a very high level of discipline. Where does that come from?
You know, it's just something that, again, like, I just try to work on being better every day. And I know that, you know, in order to do that, is like, I have to be in control of myself. You know, I got to master myself, right? In order to be able to serve at a higher level and help people. So that, you know, that's eating healthy, that's exercise, and that's going to bed is, you know, as early as you can when you have the opportunity, right? And getting up early and getting after it. So, I mean, it's just something deep down inside, because like I said, you know, I'm getting older, as we all are. And I see, and I can appreciate, you know, health, you know, and I want to be healthy. I want to be here for a long time. I want to be serving others. And in order to do that, like, you know, I have to be disciplined, and, you know, not only my health, but my mindset. And so, yeah, that's it. Like, I just get up and get after it every day, trying to be a better me and help people. So, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, no, you know, like I want to just thank you for taking your time on a Sunday to pour into people. And grateful because you actually don't even know it, but you've actually helped you spent 15 minutes with one of my new agents about a month and a half ago. I didn't even know who you were, but you did it. So I appreciate it. I know that, being great in this business, you get great at serving people, but also, with the discipline and everything, nobody that puts effort into this business can fail. Nobody. I don't care. I'll argue that till I die.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
It's always uplifting for me to see guys like you come in here, apply discipline, the mindset, and have this success. And there's no reason why others can't. But I want to thank you just for, taking the time and talking to us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate this. This is an honor. I'm just so grateful for all of you guys. You guys everyone just inspires me to be better and do better. So.
Well, we really appreciate you, Willis, dude. That was insane. That was awesome. You really got me fired up, dude. I'm super fired up, man. I'm like, this guy is just dropping bombs after bombs. And I wanted to wrap up the call. I was going to have everybody ask one more question, but it looks like we are running out of time. But it looks like Mike Curry had a question for you before we wrap up the call. And we really appreciate you, dude. You absolutely killed it. What's the lead flow look like for 36 to 40 appointments per week?
So, and that's something that this past month I've really been trying to dial in. So, I like per dial day, I want to have at least 60 leads per dial day, right? And
60 fresh leads?
60 of a mixture, really.
Okay.
If I can have 30 fresher leads and then 30 whatever, I'm good. But I always overbuy because I know that that is the lifeblood. You got to have the leads, so I did spend too much on leads for a while, and I had a couple of people help me with that and dial it back. But yeah, so I like at least a minimum of 60 leads per dial day, for sure.
Absolutely. Perfect. Well, there you go, Mike Curry. You got your question answered. That was an awesome call. Thank you, everybody that was on the call. We had, today's Mother's Day. So, but we had Zach, we had Trevor, we had Billy, we had Reese, and of course we had Willis Hicks, just sharing all his wisdom and getting me super fired up. So appreciate you having me on the call, dude. And have a great Mother's Day, dude.
All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good one, guys.